When someone loses their life over something as insignificant as a parking space, we owe it to ourselves to stop and ask how it got to that point. Because this isn't really a story about a parking space, it's a story about what happens when ego overrides common sense. Hey, I'm Dr. Lonna Denny, Bulletproof Babes, self-defense based on behavioral sciences. This happened in Florida just a couple weeks ago, and it left me asking one question. How do two ordinary adults end up in a life or death confrontation over a parking space? Okay, let's watch this deadly encounter. They're in a fight over a parking space. He tries to block it. She ends up maneuvering her car around it anyway, and then gets out of the car, and she's got a gun and a phone in her hand. And he proceeds to start closing the distance on her and then chase her around this adjacent parked car. All the while, she's got a gun pointed at him. I really don't know what he could be thinking. So now he walks away, and she's standing by the side of her car, and presumably they're exchanging words, and voila, he comes back and starts closing the distance on her. She feels threatened. She shoots him, and down he goes. Unfortunately, he did not survive this injury. As you watch the video, are you asking the same question as me? Why would he keep advancing on someone who has a gun pointed at him? Did he have a suicidal wish? I mean, I don't think so, but rather he was caught up in that confrontation to the extent that he was risking his life over it. In behavioral science, we call this commitment escalation. Once we publicly commit to being right, walking away starts to feel like losing. And ironically, that's often the very moment walking away becomes the smartest decision we could make. Now, if you've ever heard of the term sunk cost fallacy, that's like when you start reading a book and maybe you're like a third into it, but you don't really like it, but you finish reading the book anyway because you've already gotten that far, and to stop now, you'd be wasting your time and the money for the book, right? No, it just wastes more of your time on something that you're not enjoying. So this is an example of what I call sunk cost trap of ego. He could have just walked away. He would still be alive. But instead it became, I've already argued for 2 minutes, I can't walk away now. When in reality, every additional second in a heated confrontation increases the chance that someone does something really bad and something irreversible. Why he chose to advance on her like that with a gun pointed at him, we'll never know what he was thinking. What we do know is that he continued advancing on her despite seeing the firearm pointed at him. Whether he believed she wouldn't shoot or whether his rage, his ego just simply took over, the outcome was the same. And man, that's a dangerous game to play. And over what? He ended up on the ground bleeding out when he could have just walked away at any point in that confrontation. Never gamble your life on what you hope another person will or won't do. Look, if you find yourself in a heated confrontation like a domestic dispute, a road rage incident, or even an argument with a stranger, pause just for 1 second and ask yourself this question. Is being right worth what could happen to me? Or if you're married like I am, and I've been with my spouse 33 years, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? Because strength isn't proving you're tougher than the other person. Strength is having enough self-control to walk away before someone, including yourself, makes a decision you'll never get to undo. In an argument, violence begins with pride, emotion, and the inability to let something go. This is a hard lesson I've had to learn myself in my youth. And maybe that's why I had to do a video on it. Now, if you find yourself thinking, I don't know how I would have reacted in that situation, you're not alone. The good news is that judgment under pressure is a skill, so like any other skill, it can be learned. And that's exactly what I help people do in my one-on-one coaching. Together, we'll work on recognizing manipulation, managing conflict, setting healthy boundaries, and making better decisions before situations spiral out of control. If that's something you'd like to work on, you'll find the coaching link in the description below. I hope that helps, and I'll see you soon.